It's Thursday, December 4th.
And what does this mean? This means that every time people in this province buy groceries, fill up their tank, turn on their lights, they're going to be paying for this $1 billion of public money.
The NDP opposition wants to know why the provincial government is providing $800 million in special funding for SaskPower.
How do we measure success? To me, it means people actually go down there and use it, whether they walk there, take transit, or drive down there, and we need to be able to handle all of those things.
Regina's City Council taking steps toward developing a key piece of land.
It's a waste of our resources. The resources in the province belong to all the citizens of the province. So not only potentially for recruitment later on for future wildlife populations, but also the meat and the resource going to waste is a large concern for us.
The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says it has received dozens of complaints about unethical hunting. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for being here with us.
It is a chilly start to your day, but we're festive.
We are. Look at all these beautiful decorations.
And we got a fun question of the day today, too, because all of you have already started posting the most listened to songs because we care. So we're just going to let you tell us what's your most listened to. What is yours?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't looked.
My wife did hers yesterday, and her most listened to made her 71. Because now they give your average listening at your age by your listening to habits.
Oh,
71.
I don't want to check.
Yeah, no, maybe you don't. Let's get to news. We'll get back to weather in just a minute. There was controversy in the Legislative Building Wednesday over MLA attendance. It began with the NDP criticizing the minister in charge of SaskPower for missing a meeting. The government was quick to point fingers at the NDP leader's attendance record as well. Wayne Mantika reports.
The opposition was upset that SaskPower Minister Jeremy Harrison didn't attend a committee meeting at the legislature this week where SaskPower funding was discussed.
Last night, the minister responsible, Jeremy Harrison, and his officials failed to attend a scheduled Crown and Central Agencies committee meeting. Now, let's be clear. The government picks the time of this meeting. They pick the day.
Harrison said he wasn't there because it wasn't necessary.
I think it's really important that people recognize what was going on here.
Harrison then questioned the whereabouts of the opposition leader.
I haven't got one question about it from the opposition, from the leader of the opposition, who has showed up 8 days of the last 23. I could only imagine the questions the Premier would be getting standing here from you if he had missed if he was only here for 8 of 23 days. I can only imagine the questions you guys would be asking him.
The NDP said its leader has been home with the flu for the past few days and challenged the accuracy of the government's attendance record keeping.
Yeah, I don't think those numbers are accurate, but I wouldn't have the attendance forms for the leader. Again, it's important work for all of us, especially as the leader of the opposition, to be on the road, meeting with stakeholders.
MLAs are docked pay for each day that they fail to appear in the legislature. It is acceptable to be away on business or for personal health reasons, so it's rare that anyone loses pay. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Farmers are calling on the government to crack down on illegal drainage. The NDP says government policy allows drainage without recourse for landowners. Agriculture Minister Daryl Harrison said the policy's development involved more than 80 stakeholder groups and balances resiliency with economic growth. Some producers who spoke after question period say they face the threat of expropriation due to water from upstream landowners.
But today, these agencies are being used to drain large areas of the province in order to increase cultivation for some farmers and bring illegally drained wetlands into compliance. This is not why these policies were created.
The province is creating a new law that will allow residents to sue drug traffickers. The Response to Illicit Drugs Act creates a right for the province and people harmed by drug offenders to pursue civil legal action and recover costs associated with illegal drug trafficking and production. The new legislation follows an increase to the maximum fine for certain drug trafficking offenses to $1 million per year. Parents of children with complex needs are calling for action as their children have been placed on modified school schedules. Erin Gerwing says that her son, who has autism, is only going to school half the time. She says it's because educational assistance and additional resources that were once available are no longer active in schools. Gerwing says her family has had to make significant adjustments to accommodate the lack of resources.
Well, right now I'm not working. Many families are finding it impossible to have full-time jobs because somebody has to be on constant call. Somebody has to be able to go to the school on a moment's notice. It affects families a lot.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says education is set to receive an increase of $186.4 million in operating funding for the school year, adding it's working to ease pressure and complexities in classrooms. Ottawa is sending information about early retirement to almost 70,000 federal workers. Public servants receiving the letter do not have to make a decision right now. They're just being given information about their options. The federal budget calls for about 28,000 federal jobs to be cut by 2029. The government is said to be trying to reach this target mostly through attrition. The program is expected to start early next year. Workers will have about a year to make up their minds. A rally in Saskatchewan supporting the city's homeless. Jeremy Dodge, what are we learning?
Well, Daryl, the people who were there are calling on the city to do more, but the city says it can't have encampments grow across Saskatoon. More than 24 people braved the cold to rally at Civic Square yesterday, saying the city needs to build more shelters, open more spaces, and create a centralized area for encampments. But the city is asking residents to keep reporting people living in encampments so they can be connected to safe supports and stay out of the cold. And the city says centralized encampments have not worked in other communities, with them often becoming unsafe and a target for criminal activity.
Some of the things that you see is like disease outbreak, overdoses, the fires. There's actually a lot of violence, human trafficking. They can turn very unsafe.
If they won't allow it, then we may as well start counting the people that we're going to lose.
2 overnight warm-up locations have opened downtown, the former STC bus depot and at St. Mary's Church on 20th Street. A Saskatoon homicide case has taken a new turn. Nikita Tutusis, one of 8 people accused in the death of Tim Tutusis, is now facing first-degree murder charges. She was originally charged with manslaughter. Tim Tutusis was found dead on December 18th of last year. Police discovered his body while executing a search warrant at a home in the 1700 block of 22nd Street West. Daryl, council debating development of a key piece of land in your city.
Yeah, Regina Council looking, and they've been doing this forever, at developing the rail yards.
How do we measure success? To me, it means people actually go down there and use it, whether they walk there, take transit, or drive down there, and we need to be able to handle all of those things.
Mayor Michael Fougere tried this for almost his entire tenure to get the project off the ground. Mayor Sandra Masters also tried. Now this council has allowed administration to enter the first phase of development and initiate a procurement process. Rumors have circulated about what will go there. One of them is a baseball stadium. There is a proposal for that, but the city says they're not bound to any plans.
There's nothing in any kind of hold where the land has to be used for that purpose. It doesn't preclude its use, so there's nothing that council has said that would preclude it in the community plan or anything like that. So if somebody wanted to put forward a bid that included any kind of sports stadium, that would be allowed and be weighed.
Last year, the city, province, and federal government partnered together with $32 million in support of redeveloping the yards. Proposals are expected to include construction of one public park between 150 and 1,200 dwelling units, the planting of about 500 trees, and will adhere to the area's official community plan. Another round of wintry weather making its way through Atlantic Canada today, with some areas still cleaning up after yesterday's nor'easter moved through.
Cold, damp, no power for quite a while, actually, this morning.
Well, it's Canada, so expect the unexpected, I guess.
The unexpected. We're not supposed to expect snow in December. That's weird. The system is bringing a round of rain and snow today, and then a deep chill tonight. Environment and Climate Change Canada has issued one of those yellow warnings for cold in New Brunswick, with chills expected to drop to about -30 into Friday morning. Prince Albert National Park is open for its 10th annual Christmas tree harvest. Visitors with a valid park pass have until December 23rd to harvest a Christmas tree from 4 designated areas of the community fuel break surrounding Waskesiu. The park says around 160 visitors participated in last year's harvest. The park says the harvest helps reduce the number of flammable trees, slowing the spread of wildfire, and that may be in an area where wildfire could come soon in the season.
By removing these coniferous trees, these spruce, these pines, these firs, it creates a bit of a green belt.
Visitors will need to pick up a Christmas tree activity pass and a map at the visitor center before chopping down their tree. Some real-life lumberjacks. Do you have a real tree or a fake tree in your house?
I do have a fake tree, and it's a pencil tree, so it's kind of small. But it was actually inspired by you, because you said that your wife loves a good pencil tree.
We have 6 trees in our house. It's excessive, but they're not real. So what's going on in the weather today?
Well, we are looking a little bit chilly. I don't know about anybody else, but I was a little bit surprised when I woke up and saw more snow. But again, it is December, so it's about time. Let's take a look at our current temperature right here in Regina, -5 as of right now. So again, we aren't seeing super chilly temperatures as of today, but for the rest of the week and into the weekend as well, we will start to see those temperatures drop. Now let's take a look over at Saskatoon, 0 degrees and a little bit of snow coming down as well. Light flurries, we aren't expecting to see much for heavy snowfall today. Now over to our futurecast, you can see a little bit of a system moving through the province. Now about 11:45, so this is expected this evening. Swift Current will be seeing some snow coming their way as well. Prince Albert, so a little bit of snow accumulating in the province here. That is something to expect. Be careful in those roads. They will get a little bit slippery. Now let's look over at our total snowfall for today and into tomorrow. So by tomorrow morning, we are expecting to see more snow here in the province. Swift Current, the highest at about 6 centimeters. As for the rest of the province, just a little bit. Again, we aren't going to be seeing a ton of heavy snowfall today, but there are some flurries to be expected. Over to current temperatures, -19 over in Stony Rapids. Buffalo Narrows and La Ronge at -8. We've got Nipawin at -7. Hudson Bay -10. Spiritwood sitting at -3. The Battlefords and Kindersley at 0 degrees. Swift Current -1. We've got Yorkton -8. Estevan -11. And East End -8. Now let's take a look at our highs for today. The Battleford seeing about 1 degree. Prince Albert -4. Yorkton -3. Expecting to see some of those flurries coming through here. Estevan 1 degree. We've got Swift Current and Moose Jaw. Swift Current rather -1. Moose Jaw 1 degree. So we are seeing a little bit of those flurries coming through. Again, that'll occur later on today and into the evening as well. Now let's look over at our 7-day forecast. Right here in Regina, some snow on the way. -1 is our high for today. Now as we roll into the weekend, we will start again to see those temperatures dropping. On Saturday, we'll see that high of about -19. Then Tuesday of next week, expect a little bit more snow coming as well, but -3 as that high. Over to Saskatoon today, -2 is that high. Tomorrow you'll see a little bit more sunshine, -15 though, and again on Saturday, -23. Now no snowfall in the forecast until next Tuesday, -7 as that high.
A global study of over 70,000 people using at-home sleep monitors found that sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, is more severe on the weekends for some people. The research finding the odds of moderate to severe sleep apnea were 18% higher on Saturdays compared to Wednesdays. The higher risk seemed to be linked to weekend catch-up sleep and social jet lag, shifting bedtimes and wake times. Those who slept in by 45 minutes or more than usual had a nearly 50% increase increase in sleep apnea severity. As the researchers noted, behaviors like increased alcohol, irregular sleep, and changes in REM sleep could also be contributing factors. Social apnea could also have serious health implications, from heart disease to a higher accident risk. And because it mainly occurs on the weekends, the usual tests may not always catch it, which could delay treatment. With this Medical Minute, I'm Alex Stone.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
In case you missed it, new footage has been released ahead of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour docuseries and concert film.
We've had so long to prepare for the end of this tour, and we get to play one last show for you here tonight.
The two new specials are coming to Disney+. One is a docuseries capturing the making of the tour, featuring appearances by Travis Kelce, Ed Sheeran, and Sabrina Carpenter. The other is a concert film shot at the final show in Vancouver. Both start streaming on December 12th.
This is going to break records, Jeremy. This woman knows how to market. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's got her finger on the pulse. Everything she does turns to platinum, so
yeah,
good for her.
Yeah, it's like the Midas touch, the Taylor touch. Question of the day, and this is going to be a lot of people's answer today. Everybody's got those Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, most iHeartRadio, most streamed artists of the year thing, and they're posting them all over their Instagram for everybody to see. So that's the entire feed for everybody right now. So we thought we might as well just join the fray. Since you're already answering it, we'll get lots of answers today.
Absolutely, we will. I think this is a great one. We would love to hear from you. Daryl, what is your most streamed song?
Oh, my goodness. Actually, probably Role Models, Sally.
Nice.
The song Sally?
Yeah.
Love that one right now. Who's your most streamed artist, Jeremy? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we got the Spotify Wrapped, but our family shares a Spotify account,
that makes it
nothing
fun.
I listen to is on there at all. There's a lot of Tyler, the Creator. There's some Taylor Swift, few Ed Sheerans, because they had new albums. Mine, personally, I think it's not registered on there, but it's probably Snoop Dogg, because he had an album late last year and then a new one in early this year. So probably those, but I don't know for sure.
And now to show our age demographic change, Janelle, how about you?
Okay, this is going to be disappointing because I can't find mine. I use Apple Music. So I'll look into this. I'll have an answer for you.
Sadness. Text 10400, standard message rates may apply. Scan the QR code. Let's take a look at Saskatoon. It's frosty out there. Bundle up. We'll see you in a minute.
Kara Waglin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Milwaukee, where the Bucks are hosting the Pistons. Miles Turner just going at the rim, throws one down. He woke up this morning and he chose some violence. A huge slam for the Bucks center.
Put some hot sauce on that beef.
Puts Isaiah Stewart, tried to block him. Instead, he ends up on the wrong side of that one. It's your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we kick off Week 14 in the NFL. We got the Cowboys and Lions going head-to-head. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern at 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
It has fast become one of Saskatoon's staple attractions over the holidays. Whoville in the Garden, and our Mike Siona is setting it up for us this morning. Mike, is your heart going to go 3 sizes today?
Yes, my heart will grow 3 sizes today, and yours can tomorrow, Jeremy, because that's when we officially unveil Whoville in the Garden. A sneak peek here this morning with Karen Lindsley from the Ronald McDonald House, Saskatchewan. It looks great this year. What's new? What's exciting?
Oh, we're super excited. Whoville kicks off tomorrow with Santa and the Coke truck coming at 5:15. Cindy Lou Who will be here. The Grinch will be here, and please come out and join us for our holiday campaign kickoff here at Ronald McDonald McDonald House.
I absolutely love it. It is. Jeremy was just saying it's fast become one of the big new traditions here in our city in Saskatoon. And everything here donated, put on by volunteers and all for a good cause?
You bet. Yeah, we are so grateful. We have volunteers that come out every night to support us with hot chocolate and cookies for families. You know, we do have a suggested cost of $10 a night, which is what families pay as a suggested cost to stay here at Ronald McDonald House. So it helps support the families who are staying here that come from all across Saskatchewan.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that the symbolic value. Obviously, you want to give more. Please do. The more you can help out, the better. Because really, it is a province-wide initiative, and you guys are growing and expanding constantly.
Yeah, we are. We're actually doubling our footprint by building a 20-room house in Regina and a 12-room house in PA, and those constructions are on their way. And so we're really excited to share the mission across Saskatchewan.
Absolutely. So that's the good cause part of it. Look at this tree, by the way. This is the biggest, brightest, boldest, baddest Whoville tree we've ever seen.
It is. It's the biggest tree yet. They had so much fun decorating it. We had volunteers come out, 2 groups of volunteers to come set up beautiful Whoville. So please come out and join us tomorrow at 5:15 for the Santa truck. He'll be here till 5:45, and then the Grinch and Cindy Lou Who will be there here for the rest of the night. So come and join us.
Absolutely. Don't take it from me. Karen just told you.
All right, Mike, looks great. Stay warm out there. We'll see you in a little while.
All right, let's take a look over at our school day forecast, which is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, -5. When lunch rolls around, -1, starting to see a little bit of sun coming out. By final bell, -1 as well, starting to see some of that snowfall. Over to Saskatoon, by the time you get onto the bus, 0 degrees. By lunchtime, still seeing those clouds in the sky, -2, and final bell around 3 p.m., still seeing -2. Now let's take a look over at our gas prices. In Regina, you'll find gas for as low as $1.029, and in Saskatoon for as low as $1.099. Now let's take a look over at farm markets. The street price of canola is $567.82 per ton, and futures price is $642.70 per ton. Amber Durham wheat is $285.94, and Red Spring wheat is $250.06 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.69 cents U.S.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is 6:30, and food is going to get more expensive next year. Canada's food price report for 2026 is out from Dalhousie's Agri-Food Analytics Lab. It predicts an average family of 4 will spend more than $17,000 on food next year. That's almost $1,000 more compared to 2025. The report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. According to the report, some of the factors driving up food prices this year are the trade war, the end of Ottawa's tax holiday, and the soaring cost for beef. The report expects chicken prices will go up substantially next year as well. We will have more on that on our website. We are now hearing from the former Environment Minister, Stephen Guilbeault, about his resignation last week over a disagreement in climate policy.
My government needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
In that interview with CTV's Power Play, Guilbeault says the math just doesn't add up. He resigned as Canadian Culture and Identity Minister hours after the Prime Minister and Alberta Premier unveiled a new memorandum of understanding laying the groundwork for major energy projects, including a new pipeline. Guilbeault says Alberta's increase to its industrial carbon pricing is not enough to mitigate the rollback of other climate policies. He's also saying he believes Canada's goal to hit net zero by 2050 is now in jeopardy. A man at the center of a Saskatoon homicide investigation made his first court appearance yesterday. 30-year-old Gage Ulmer Busler is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and kidnapping in the death of 31-year-old Chad Romanski. The arrest comes about 5 months after Romanski's remains were found near Highway 7 in June. An investigator says police used some outside-the-box techniques to move the case forward.
What I
can say is that this was a very complex investigation. Any creativity of the minds of my colleagues, our service supported 100%, and I'm proud of the work that was done.
Ulmer Busler said he plans on hiring his own lawyer. He's scheduled to be back in court on Tuesday. A Calgary teen has been charged with using artificial intelligence to create child sex abuse and exploitation material. Police say the 17-year-old high school student used AI technology to sexualize photos of girls from several different high schools around the city. After officers received a tip that those images had been shared on social media, a search warrant was executed last month at a Calgary home. 2 cell phones, a tablet and laptop were seized. The teen is now facing charges for making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation materials, along with criminal harassment.
This is not a joke. It's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior. AI can recreate almost anything, good or bad. And the caveat we always use is not necessarily bad platforms, not bad software, it's bad behavior utilizing those platforms and software.
Police are not identifying any of the students or schools involved. The accused is due in court again on January 8th. The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says it has received dozens of complaints about unethical hunting in recent weeks, and a warning some of the viewers may find the following images disturbing. Sask Tip shared these photos on social media, saying conservation officers found a couple of elk that had been shot and abandoned in the Spiritwood area. The Wildlife Federation says that during the recent antlerless elk hunt, it received several complaints per day about animals being shot and abandoned. The executive director says some hunters may not have been familiar with regulations, but calls the situation unacceptable both legally and ethically.
It's a waste of our resources. The resources in the province belong to all the citizens of the province. So not only potentially for recruitment later on for future wildlife populations, but also the meat and the resource going to waste is a large concern for us.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says it added the antlerless elk hunt to address property and crop damage caused by elk in high numbers. Now that that is over, it says hunter harvest surveys will be used to assess the harvest levels and landowner access and will inform future wildlife management plans. A strike by Air Transat pilots could soon be a possibility.
A December strike will be catastrophic because capacity is already saturated. Other airlines like Air Canada and WestJet are flying full plane for the holidays.
By this time next week, the airline's roughly 700 unionized pilots will be in a strike position. They will have voted to have the pilots' union governing body the authority to declare a strike as soon as December 10th. Air Transat is calling it a, quote, common step in the collective bargaining process. The company says operations are continuing as normal. The Swift Current Broncos losing streak has reached 7 games, and here's something you don't see every day.
1:05 to go in the game. Xavier Went is out of the goal. He's looking. He's going to try it. Xavier Went for the empty net. He scores!
Goalie goal. How about that? Tri-City Americans goalie Xavier Went scoring from behind his own red line. He also turned aside all 23 shots he faced. He had a good night in a 4-0 shutout win. The U.S. road trip has not been kind to the Broncos.
It bounces back out front. Egan ties it up. Turco comes onto it. The slot back to Highland for a shot. Scores!
Saskatoon Blades dropped their 4th in a row, falling 4-1 to the Brandon Wheat Kings. Caleb Holland had a goal and an assist for Brandon.
1-0 from the right.
Into centers, the Tigers work back in. Wu navigates through skates. High slot gives left side. They shoot. They score!
Medicine Hat Tigers haven't lost in regulation in their last 9. They beat the Prince Albert Raiders 7-1, who have now lost 2 in a row. So tough go for some Saskatchewan teams yesterday. How about those conditions out there on our roadways?
Well, so far we aren't seeing bad conditions, especially here this morning in Regina. Little bit of snowfall again, but that's to be expected. Now let's take a look over at our current temperature, -5. Once that sun does start to come up, we do have a little bit of a cloudy day ahead of us here. And over to Saskatoon, 0 degrees currently, little bit snowy today. Now we are expecting to see just a little bit of a flurry coming our way. However, nothing too heavy up until next week. That is when we'll really start to see some of that snow coming through. We'll get more into that coming up, but let's take a look over at our futurecast here. You can see a bit of a system rolling through the province, especially into early tomorrow morning. The Swift Current Prince Albert area are expecting to see a little bit of snow coming through. As for total snowfall amounts, swift current 6 centimeters. This is by about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. As for the rest of Saskatchewan, though, we are seeing that 1 centimeter rolling through the province. So again, we aren't seeing a ton of snow other than that swift current area that will come next week. Now for our current temperatures, Stony Rapids seeing -19, Buffalo Narrows -8, South End -17, Nipawin -6. We've got Spiritwood and Melfort -3, and Hudson Bay -10. Over to the Battlefords, 0 degrees along with Kindersley, Wynyard -5, Yorkton -8, Estevan -11, East End -8 as well, and Assiniboia -4. Now for our highs today across Saskatchewan, the Battleford seeing about 1 degree, Prince Albert -4, Yorkton -3. Again, starting to see a little bit of those flurries coming through. Swift Current -1, Moose Jaw 1 degree, and we've got Weyburn at 1 degree as well. Now for our 5-day forecast right here in Regina, starting to see a little bit of that snow coming our way later on today into the afternoon and evening. -1 as our high. Tomorrow, a little bit of a cloudier day as well. Now starting on Saturday, seeing more sunshine coming through, however, -19. So it is going to be a cold weekend ahead of us here. As of next week, though, we start to see -5 as our high on that Monday. Over to Saskatoon today, -2 as the high. Starting tomorrow, -15. So we, again, are seeing that temperature begin to drop. That sun is coming out, though. It'll stick around up until Sunday. We'll start Monday, a fresh week in Saskatoon at -14.
Well, we've just come off one of the busiest shopping weekends of the entire year, and polls show Canadians continue to have struggles when it comes to keeping up to their debt. Michelle Stats is with BDO Debt Solutions in studio with us this morning. Michelle, thanks for doing this.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
First and foremost, how do we avoid the festive FOMO, right? We want to spend, we want to keep up, we want to have all of the things, but inflationary pressures and everything are mounting.
Yes, absolutely. It's that time of year. There's huge pressures when we see it on social media and whatnot. So it's hard not to feel the pressure to spend, to be out there doing all the things. And so it's important to know that what you're looking at, especially when it comes to FOMO, may not necessarily be reality, right? You see all the things on social media, but you don't know how people are paying for those things, or how what their situation is. So it's good to disconnect for sure this time of year, and realize that might not be
kind of almost
reality.
like gambling, like the set a limit, stay within it sort of mentality?
Yes, exactly. So understanding your own reality, then your own budget, what you have to spend for the holidays, and then staying within your means.
So what if we do get ourselves into trouble?
If you do, well, certainly there are signs. If you are, struggling to pay the credit cards down, or, making minimum payments, or not kind of covering all your bills on time, it's important to talk to someone and reach out. You do want to sit down and look at your budget and reevaluate what you've got coming in, what your expenses are, but sometimes you need, a third person or an objective person to kind of look at that with you. So
there's an element of your pride, right? You got to swallow your pride. And at what point do I come and talk to someone who's a professional like yourself?
Yeah, I think it's sooner rather than later, and you're right. There seems to be that stigma, and people feel embarrassed to come and talk to us. But honestly, as soon as they do, they feel so much better and wish they would have sooner. So it's just that hurdle.
You say that every time, because the sooner the better. Is that just so that you're not facing a more dire situation by the time we get to you?
You can have more options, right? Maybe it's not as dire as what you think it is, and you're just overwhelmed and you don't know how to tackle it. So the sooner you come to us, or the sooner you talk to someone, it might be just a matter of juggling things in the budget. You have more options.
With all of these pressures that we're facing constantly, are you seeing different clientele now than you ever saw before?
We are definitely seeing more people struggling. It's still a wide range of people. There's no one that's kind of immune to the situation, all ages, all demographics. So, yeah, everyone is struggling.
Maybe if somebody's out there and they're thinking, maybe it's time for me to reach out. Where do they come and find you? How do they get a hold of you?
For sure. You can check us out online, bdodebt.ca. Give us a call. We're here in Regina, 306 BDO Debt. BDO Debt,
website,
yes.
Right? It's easy.
Yeah, the website, or giving us a call. We do offer a confidential consultation, so you know.
If you need a pro, Michelle Stats is one of the best in the business. BDOdebt.ca. Thanks so much for doing this.
Perfect. Thanks, Daryl.
Another merger changing the Canadian banking landscape. Canada's 7th largest bank, EQ, is buying PC Financial from Loblaws. EQB, the company behind digital EQ Bank, is paying $800 million in shares and cash in a deal that will see Loblaw take about a 16% stake in the bank, while EQ will become the exclusive financial partner of the PC Optimum loyalty program. The deal will expand EQ's customer base by about 3.5 million, including more than 2 million active PC MasterCard clients, compared with EQ Bank's customer base of about 600,000. It also adds about $5.8 billion in assets to EQB's existing $138 billion. Meanwhile, EQB missed its quarterly earnings estimate by 23%. Now, we're also getting earnings reports from TD, CIBC, and BMO. Strong results in its capital markets helped CIBC top estimates. It topped analyst estimates now for more than 2 years in a row. Similar story for TD in the capital markets, leading to an EPS of $2.18. A stronger than expected performance in its U.S. sector helped BMO beat estimates with an EPS of $3.28 on an adjusted basis. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
All right, let's head out to Lumsden now, where Janella Pye is spending some time at Last Mountain Distillery.
Good morning. We're down in Lumsden today at Last Mountain Distillery. We've got some holiday ideas to go over here. The festive season is upon us. I've got Braden with me, co-owner. Now, Braden, tell me a little bit about some of those holiday things that are going on here.
Yeah, we have an awesome shopping day coming up here this Saturday, December 6th, from 12 to 4. We have some awesome local vendors set up so you can get some extra goodies for shopping. Obviously, we have some distillery exclusive products that are available, as well as some music, some samples, those sorts of things. So come on out and get your holiday shopping done.
Awesome. And when does this run for? How long can people expect to be a part of this for?
This is just Saturday only. So we have a couple specials going on. The vendors set up, like I mentioned, so it's a one-day event. So 12 to 4.
Awesome. All right. Where are you guys located? How can people maybe get a little bit more information on this as well?
We are at Last Mountain Distillery, just in Lumsden. So right when you come off the highway, it's the first building on your right-hand side. So if you've hit there and seen people, then you've gone too far. Any information on the event you can find on our social media or on our website. Perfect.
Now, we do have some items in front of us here. Is this a little bit about what folks can expect to see?
Yeah, for sure. We have some cool in-house things. So an advent calendar, some cream for your coffee, chocolate hazelnut liqueur, things like that we only sell here at the distillery only.
Fantastic. Well, some really great ideas. The festive season is upon us. We'll be right back coming up here very quick. We've got more to tell you about holiday things going on at Last Mountain Distillery. It's December 4th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Let's start off with a big happy birthday going out to Justice for her 23rd birthday today. We hope you have an awesome day with love from your family. Also celebrating today is Vera. Happy birthday to you. This shout out is coming from your mom, dad, grandma, papa, Uncle Travis, Auntie Allison, and cousin Olivia. Turning 11 years old is Liam. Happy birthday to you from your mom, dad, Emily, and Archie. Have a wonderful day. Happy birthday to Krista. This photo is coming with the message that read, "Happy birthday to Oma from your husband and grandchildren. We hope this is the best one yet." Also celebrating another trip around the sun is Mark. Today is his 40th birthday. Happy birthday to you and enjoy your special day. Lots of love from your mom and dad. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Callan. He's now into double digits. Have the best day with lots of love from your whole family. And finally, turning 8 years old today is Owen. Happy birthday to you. Have a great day. This shout out is coming to you with lots of love from your mom, dad, and Liam. Enjoy your day.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates. Because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure you're sending them at least one day in advance.
She missed an opportunity in that horse picture, the birthday celebration, to say, "You're turning 40, I say nay."
I don't think that was a missed opportunity.
She's chuckling, She's chuckling. She's chuckling. That's a win for me. What's going on the radio?
Well, you know what? We're talking a little bit of age today. We're seeing all of these Spotify rap lists coming out right now. And this year they added the listener's age to it, like how old they think you are based on your listening preferences. A category I don't think any of us really needed. Mine, they threw me at 42, which is like, it's close, but I'm still south of 40. Took a little offense to it. So if you've done the wrap-up list, I want to know your actual age and what they said they think you are based on your listening preferences. You can text that over to 54321. Maybe you felt really good about it. And then remember, next hour, too, we'll shake that tree once again and see if we can get you some prizes this morning.
Sarah said that she was 71, and I said that tracks. And then it's not the tree she's shaking, it's going to be my neck.
Yeah, something's going to fall.
By surviving hide and seek, you've triggered a new game. This time against the High Council families. Double or nothing. This pod will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
Samara Weaving has to survive another killer game and save her sister, played by Catherine Newton, in Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Nestor Carbonell, and Elijah Wood co-star in the action horror sequel, which lands in theaters next spring.
Every choice, every mistake carried you to this spot.
Chad Powers will take the field again. Hulu has renewed the football comedy starring Glenn Powell for a second season.
I know what it is to risk everything you have for something that you want.
If you want to see Denzel Washington in Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest on the big screen, you've got another shot. The drama about a music mogul in a life or death moral dilemma returns to theaters for one night this Saturday, December 6th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, guests go first. So, Janelle, you're up.
All right, well, we kick things off with a young foodie. Zion is just a year old, and he's living his little life to the fullest.
Do you think he was named after the national park? Little Zion National Park?
Maybe.
Right?
Never heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
Well,
no.
He's been traveling the world and eating his way through it. What a lucky little guy. Look how happy he is.
One of my friends has kids that are named after cities that they visited, so Houston, Boston.
I think Zion, isn't that like the city in the Matrix? That, the
could also be.
City in the Matrix?
Could also be.
Yeah.
It's also a national park in California. Here's a new way to make fun of your partner.
Little Daddy House shoes.
Are you ripping on me because I...
You wear your little Daddy House shoes everywhere you go.
JD, please start doing this around the office.
That's fantastic.
Please start doing this around the office, just to anybody who comes by.
Sing him a song.
I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think we'd be unstoppable in this building.
We should be stoppable. Time out. We're back after this. It's Thursday, December 4th.
And what does this mean? This means that every time people in this province buy groceries, fill up their tank, turn on their lights, they are going to be paying for this $1 billion of public money.
The NDP opposition wants to know why the province is providing $800 million in special funding for SaskPower.
If you're a member of a cabinet and you disagree with a decision or a policy from your government, then the obvious thing to do is to quit cabinet. That my government.
Former Minister Stephen Guilbeault speaks out on his decision to resign from cabinet and doubts over Canada's climate change goals. And food prices continue to soar. We could be paying more next year, but by how much? Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for being back with us.
We are continuing to ask you for your most played artists. What's coming in at number one?
You know what? We actually don't have a continuous number one. We've got all kinds of different answers, which I'm really impressed with.
And you found out your list?
And I am a Beyonce listener.
Beyonce.
Yes.
And who else?
I know Kayleen is not going to be thrilled to hear this, but also Tate McRae.
Fabulous Tate McRae from Calgary, Alberta. We love her. All right, let's get over to news. The NDP opposition wants to know why the province is providing $800 million in special funding to SaskPower.
And what does this mean? This means that every time people in this province buy groceries, fill up their tank, turn on their lights, they are going to be paying for this $1 billion of public money.
The expenditure was approved during a government committee meeting at the Legislative Building. The minister in charge of SaskPower was not present to provide an explanation. The NDP opposition says the circumstances are unusual. In a written response, the government said it's not unusual for a minister to be unavailable for a committee meeting. The statement provided no explanation about how SaskPower will spend the $800 million. The province is creating a new law that will allow residents to sue drug traffickers. The Response to Illicit Drugs Act creates rights for people in the province and people harmed by drug offenders to pursue civil legal action and recover costs associated with illegal drug trafficking and production. The new legislation follows an increase in the maximum fine for certain drug trafficking offenses to $1 million. That happened earlier this year. Parents of children with complex needs are calling for action as their children have been placed on modified school schedules. Erin Gerwing, one of the parents we spoke to, says that her son, who has autism, is only going to school half time right now. She says it's because educational assistance and additional resources that were once available are no longer active in schools. Gerwing says her family has had to make significant adjustments because of it.
Well, right now I'm not working. Many families are finding it impossible to have full-time jobs because somebody has to be on constant call. Somebody has to be able to go to the school on a moment's notice. It affects families a lot.
In a statement to CTV, the province says education is set to receive an increase of $186.4 million in operating funding for this school year, adding it's working to ease pressure and complexities in classrooms. Let's talk homelessness as we turn things over to Jeremy Dodge for an update in Saskatoon this morning. Jeremy, good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. So as the winter cold sets in, people are calling for action to support those living without homes in our province. And while warming centers, shelters, and other supports exist, a discussion on how to handle encampments and connect people with those supports is once again happening in Saskatoon. Keenan Sorokon has the latest.
More than 24 people were out in the cold rallying at Civic Square, saying the city needs to create designated encampment areas, which the city quickly rejected.
If somebody had the recipe and it was successful, we would definitely have duplicated it here.
Yvonne Raymer with the fire department says the safety risks pile up as encampments grow larger, forcing the city to intervene.
Disease outbreak, overdoses, the fires. There's actually a lot of violence, human trafficking. They can turn very unsafe.
Those rallying at City Hall say being displaced is also unsafe.
If they won't allow it, then we may as well start counting the people that we're going to lose.
Raymer says large encampments get infiltrated by gang activity and also cost taxpayers in the end. She's spoken with counterparts in other cities who have designated areas. Halifax recently spent $1 million on an encampment cleanup, which is how much the fire department here has spent responding to encampments the last 3 years. LaPlante says then make a series of designated areas instead of a centralized location.
Small encampments all over the place in designated areas. That way they can't get overflown and things to happen.
90 encampment fires have been reported the last 2 months, and Raymer says the backlog is growing, with crews taking a week to respond to the latest calls. But they're encouraging people to keep calling them in so homeless people can be connected to supports and cleanup can begin. That frustrated homeless advocates.
That is stupid. They're displacing those people.
Raymer says the province is ultimately responsible for social services and addressing homelessness, and the city is devoting more resources to the file every year.
We have not seen a downward trend. We have seen nothing but an upward trend.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, City Council in Regina again debating development of a key piece of land there.
Yeah, they've been doing this forever, developing the rail yards.
How do we measure success? To me, it means people actually go down there and use it, whether they walk there, take transit, or drive down there, and we need to be able to handle all of those things.
Mayor Michael Fougere tried for almost his entire tenure to get this project off the ground. Mayor Sandra Masters also tried. Now this council is going to make an effort, allowing administration to enter the first phase of a development and initiate a procurement process. Rumors have circulated about what will go there. The images on your screen are of a baseball stadium. That proposal is in front of council, but the city says they're not bound to any plans.
There's nothing in any kind of hold where the land has to be used for that purpose. It doesn't preclude its use, so there's nothing that council has said that would preclude it in the community plan or anything like that. So if somebody wanted to put forward a bid that included any kind of sports stadium, that would be allowed and be weighed.
Last year, the city, province, and federal government committed $32 million to support the redevelopment of the yards. Proposals are expected to include construction of one public park between 150 and 1,200 dwelling units, the planting of about 500 trees, and it'll all adhere, they say, to the official community plan. Some residents in Regina's Wascana View aren't very happy about a proposed study that could result in Prince of Wales Drive being extended to Wascana Parkway in the future. The Wascana View Action Group is raising several concerns when it comes to the city's study. One being the financial side. The feasibility study would cost upwards of $300,000 at a time when City Council is discussing a property tax increase of over 15% for residents. The group also raised concerns about construction disturbing Mikkel-Wascana Conservation Park.
There's no way that the Prince of Wales can be expanded without going through the nature refuge. So I talked earlier about encroachment, and encroachment means that there will be no work done on the easement, and as a result, a road going through there would be work on the easement. And working closely with Ducks Unlimited, they've made it quite clear they're not prepared to give permission to go through the reserve.
In a statement, the City of Regina says it's aware of the concerns raised by the Wascana View Action Group and that the construction would only move ahead if the project proves feasible and future budget is approved by City Council. A Moose Jaw RCMP officer's court case over a charge that stemmed from an on-duty altercation has been adjourned until the new year. According to Moose Jaw RCMP, officers were called to a home as part of an ongoing investigation in January of last year. One officer was accused of unlawfully entering a house, resulting in an altercation between him and a man inside. The defense lawyer for the accused officer appeared in a Moose Jaw courtroom yesterday asking for more time to review disclosure. The case has now been adjourned to January 14th. The search for Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 will resume later this month. The search will run for 55 days starting December 30th. It's being run by a U.S. company called Ocean Infinity. The firm has no find, no fee agreements with the Malaysian government. That means if they don't find anything, they don't get paid, basically. So MH370 disappeared in March 2014 while flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Prince Albert National Park is open for its 10th annual Christmas tree harvest. Just like something right out of a Hallmark movie, right? Visitors with a valid park pass from December 23rd can go up and harvest a tree from 4 designated areas along the fuel break area surrounding Waskesiu. The park says around 160 people did this last year. It helps them reduce the number of flammable trees, slowing the spread of wildfires that may be in the area come wildfire season.
By removing these coniferous trees, these spruce, these pines, these firs, it creates a bit of a green belt.
Visitors will need to pick up Christmas tree activity passes and a map at the visitor center before they go. And today might be an okay day to do that. You got to bundle up a little bit, though, you know.
You will have to bundle up a little bit, but we're currently seeing temperatures that aren't too chilly quite yet. As we roll into the weekend and into next week as well, we'll start to see things cool down. But for now, in Regina, we're sitting at about -4 as our current temperature, seeing those wind speeds at about 20 kilometers west. And once that sun does rise, we'll see a little bit of a cloudy day ahead of us. Over towards Sask. Saskatoon, 1 degree. Now again, cloudy for the most part of the day today. We're starting off the day as well with a little bit of a flurry, seeing those wind speeds at about 28 kilometers west as well. Now let's look over to our futurecast. You can see some systems rolling through the province. This is about noon, or rather midnight tomorrow. So Prince Albert and Swift Current both seeing those systems rolling through. Again, some snow is on the way. However, for the most part, we will be seeing that hit later on in the week and into the weekend as well. Now for total snowfall amounts, we've got a lot going on here in the province so far. Swift Current 6 centimeters rather, and that is tomorrow morning as well. So for the most part, we aren't seeing a ton of snow coming down tonight and into tomorrow. But again, Swift Current seeing a little bit of snow. That is something to be mindful of as you're on your morning commute tomorrow. For current temperatures across the province, Stony Rapids -21, Buffalo Narrows -9, we've got South End at -19, Spiritwood -3, Prince Albert -5, Hudson Bay -9. The Battlefords and Kindersley 0 degrees currently, Wynyard and of course Regina at that -4, Moose Jaw 0 degrees, Swift Current -1, we've got Weyburn at -7 and Estevan -11 degrees. Now for our highs today across the province, the Battleford seeing about 1 degree. Again, Saskatoon sitting at that -2, Prince Albert -4, Yorkton -3, seeing a little bit of that snow coming through. Moose Jaw 1 degree along with Weyburn, and we've got Swift Current -1. Now for a 7-day forecast here in Regina. Today, again, we will be seeing some of that snow start to fall. We aren't expecting to see heavy snowfall today. That will come later on next week. As for today, though, -1 as that high. As we roll into the weekend, we do start to see that sun coming out a little bit more, but things are getting a little chillier. -19 on Saturday as that high, -13 on Sunday, and Tuesday of next week is when we'll really start to see some more snowfall coming our way, and -3. Over to Saskatoon, -2 for today. Starting tomorrow, you'll start to see that sun peeking out. -15 as the high. Now Tuesday of next week as well is when Saskatoon can expect to see some of that snow falling, and -7 as the high. Time for the rural forecast for today. Meadow Lake seeing -2 along with Spiritwood. We've got outlook at 1 degree, starting to see some of that snowfall. Wynyard -3, Hudson Bay -6. We've got Leader at 1 degree along with Rosetown. Kenora -4. We've got Rockland at -1 and East End Cypress 0 degrees. Now let's take a look over at Borden, where internet speeds up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. -2 as that high for today. A mainly cloudy day ahead of them, seeing those wind speeds at about 10 to 25 kilometers per hour northwest.
Well, it's a pretty nice morning for Mike Siona, who is out at Whoville in the Garden this morning. And Mike, tomorrow, the big kickoff down there, right?
Yes, 100%. Tomorrow is the big kickoff, as you say, Jeremy. Today, simply a sneak peek this morning. And thank you to Karen Lindsley at Ronald McDonald House, Saskatchewan here for letting us into Whoville in the Garden here. Let's go through the details of tomorrow because that's it. We're open for the season.
Tomorrow's the big day. So 5:15, the Coke truck will be here with Santa. So bring your kiddos down, come for pictures with Santa. He'll be here till 5:45. And then for the rest of the evening till 8 o'clock, Cindy Luhu will be here, as well as the Grinch. So we invite you to come down for some hot chocolate and some cookies to enjoy some fun here at Ronald McDonald House.
It really is spectacular. We're looking at the Grinch here hanging out in Whoville. I mean, it just the transformation here is incredible. But the need, unfortunately, is also incredible in a different sense.
Absolutely. We've actually been full for about a month now, supporting 34 families here at the house, and sometimes we have a wait list. So the need is high, unfortunately, but we encourage people to come down, learn a little bit more about our mission and how you can support families during the holiday season here at Ronald McDonald House.
Let's talk a little bit about that mission for people who maybe don't know. What exactly is it that you guys do and offer?
Yeah, so for Ronald McDonald House, we offer support for families while their child's receiving medical treatment right here in Saskatoon. So we provide an accommodation, so a nice, safe, warm place for families to come. We have food programs, and we also have family-centered care programs to help support the entire family during that time.
No doubt about it. It's I don't know how you guys do it, but for $10 a night is what it costs for a room, essentially.
Yeah, we offer that as a suggested cost to families to come and stay, and it really just helps relieve that financial burden and the stress of, where am I going to get that next meal? Where am I going to park? Parking's expensive at the hospital. We offer a shuttle program and just offer some support for the entire family while they're here, not just the sick child.
Absolutely. So incredible, and a great opportunity for you to take part and help support that wonderful cause by coming out and hanging out with the Grinch.
All right, Mike, great idea. Thank you very much. We will see you again in just a little while.
Hello there, Kara Waglin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we are off to Milwaukee, where the Bucks are hosting the Pistons. Miles Turner just going at the rim, throws one down. He woke up this morning and he chose some violence. A huge slam for the Bucks center.
Put some hot sauce on that beef.
Puts Isaiah Stewart, tried to block him. Instead, he ends up on the wrong side of that one. It's your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up tonight on TSN, we kick off Week 14 in the NFL. We got the Cowboys and Lions going head-to-head. Coverage for that one gets underway at 7 Eastern at 4 Pacific. That's all for now from Sports Center. Have a great day.
A convenience store in Virginia has fallen victim to an unusual masked bandit. The store sharing these images on social media of the damage caused by a raccoon after it crashed through the ceiling. But the furry intruder didn't just smash the bottles.
Whoa.
He also drank a little too much and passed out in the store's bathroom. The party animal was taken away and released back into the wild after he eventually woke up. The poor little fella. Look at him.
He's so sweet with his little arms and legs out like that. Oh.
Know your limits there, Mr. Raccoon.
A nuisance.
A nuisance.
A sweet-looking nuisance.
Nobody even there to hold his hair.
But a nuisance nonetheless.
Nobody even there. Question of the day. We're asking, who is your most listened to artist of 2025? Because all of your posts on all of your social medias right now are your top artists from Spotify, Apple Music, yeah.
That's right. So we did get some good answers coming in so far. We've got one from Kim here who says Lynyrd Skynyrd and The Great White.
Oh, name your favorite song by Lynyrd Skynyrd, would you?
Me?
Me? Sweet Home Alabama, right?
That one.
That's the
only one I know.
You read my mind. How'd you do that?
It's the cold blank stare that I get back from her that I just love so much.
Yeah.
It's the same one I give her when she says, like, Sabrina Carpenter or whatever.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Generation gap.
Brenda also sent in her answer. She's got a couple favorites here. There's a good amount, but this time of the year, country Christmas songs.
Oh, yeah, of
like
course.
Country Christmas songs. I love them.
All right. Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, I like them. Okay, we've got more, though. We do have more. All right, we've got Tracy here who says Rory Allen, which is another good one.
Troy's going local. Yeah, he does that every time. He must be buddies with him.
Yeah.
What else do we got on the big board?
So these are the only answers.
That's it.
We've gotten.
That's all we got.
So we're really excited. We know you have these answers. We want to see them coming in. Make sure you're sending us over. You can text us at 10400. Standard message and data rates may apply. You can scan the QR code on your screen as well. We are so excited to see these songs coming in. Make sure you send them.
Another merger changing the Canadian banking landscape. Canada's 7th largest bank, EQ, is buying PC Financial from Loblaws. EQB, the company behind digital EQ Bank, is paying $800 million in shares and cash in a deal that will see Loblaw take about a 16% stake in the bank, while EQ will become the exclusive financial partner of the PC Optimum loyalty program. The deal will expand EQ's customer base by about 3.5 million, including more than 2 million active PC MasterCard clients, compared with EQ Bank's customer base of about 600,000. It also adds about $5.8 billion in assets to EQB's existing $138 billion. Meanwhile, EQB missed its quarterly earnings estimate by 23%. Now, we're also getting earnings reports from TD, CIBC, and BMO. Strong results in its capital markets helped CIBC top estimates. It topped analyst estimates now for more than 2 years in a row. Similar story for TD in the capital markets, leading to an EPS of $2.18. A stronger than expected performance in its U.S. sector helped BMO beat estimates with an EPS of $3.28 on an adjusted basis. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Time for your morning mystery. Today it is a character. Get ready. You got 3 clues coming at you. You can play along at home. Clue number 1, this animated character was born on an ordinary day in a small town called Armonk, New York. What? Can we just come back to camera to see Janelle's face just for a second? Was voiced by comedian Jackie Vernon. Yeah, look at this. The number of fingers he has changes in one scene after he becomes alive. He has 5 fingers while counting to 10, but in the next shot he has 4 fingers.
And you know what? It just hit me.
Did it just hit you?
And it just hit me. I have it. I definitely have it.
Do you?
Feeling good.
Really?
Jeremy, you sound surprised.
Well, I don't know. This is pretty particular. I thought I was pretty smart for knowing this one.
Frosty the Snowman? Let's scroll down.
Yeah.
Frosty the Snowman!
Nice. Okay, yeah.
Hey! Way to go. Did it just hit you in your earpiece from Director Corey? That was our morning mystery. Cheaters.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's take a look at our school day forecast, brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. In Regina, by the time you get onto the bus, -4. By lunchtime, -1, starting to see that sun come out a little bit. And by final bell, -1 as well. A little bit of snowfall coming our way. Over to Saskatoon, 1 degree by the time you get onto the bus. By lunchtime, -2. Final bell, -2 as well. A little bit of a cloudy day for our friends over in Saskatoon. As we go into the break, here's a look at today's gas prices in Regina. The common cost to fill up is $127.9. You can find regular fuel for as low as $102.9. And in Saskatoon, common cost is $119.9, with the lowest you might find being $109.9. Taking a look at the farm markets, the street price of canola is $567.82 per ton, and the futures price is $642.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat is $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat is $250.06 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading at 71.69 cents US.
Welcome to your morning. It is 7:30. Excuse me. Food is going to cost more this next year. Canada's food price report for 2026 is out from Dalhousie's Agri-Food Analytics Lab, predicting the average family of 4 will spend more than $17,000 on food next year. That's almost $1,000 more compared to 2025. That report also says 1/4 of households in Canada are considered food insecure. According to that report, some of the factors driving up food prices are the trade war, the end of holiday tax from Ottawa, and the soaring cost of beef. The report also expects chicken to go up next year. My throat. There is continued fallout of Prime Minister Mark Carney's move to sign a deal with Alberta that paves the way for a pipeline to BC. In an interview with CTV's Power Play, Liberal MP Stephen Guilbeault, who stepped down from cabinet last week because of the deal, says he has a profound disagreement with how Carney is moving forward on climate change.
I think that my government needs to be honest with Canadians. With the rollbacks that we've seen over the past few months on different climate change measures that have been adopted over the years by me and some of my predecessors, it is impossible to see how we achieve our 2030 targets.
Guilbeault says the math just doesn't add up, and climate targets for 2030 are impossible to reach. The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says it has received dozens of complaints about unethical hunting in recent weeks. As Stacey Hine tells us, it comes after an extra elk hunt that faced controversy wrapped up. And a note to some viewers, you may find some of the images in this story difficult to watch.
These photos posted to social media show 2 elk shot and left in the Spiritwood area. Sask Tip says conservation officers believe the shooter fired into a herd and may not have realized they killed multiple animals. The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says shooting and abandoning an animal is unacceptable.
We would argue in that case you're into poaching case and not a hunting case. We class that as waste of game. So unacceptable both from a legal and ethical point of view.
During the antlerless elk hunt, which ran from November 23rd to the 27th in the southern half of the province, the Wildlife Federation says it received roughly 20 complaints per day about animals being shot and left. Executive Director Todd Smith believes some hunters may not have been familiar with regulations and calls the situation concerning.
It's a waste of our resources. The resources in the province belong to all the citizens of the province. So not only potentially for recruitment later on for future wildlife populations, but also the meat and the resource going to waste is a large concern for us.
In a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Environment says the antlerless hunt was introduced to address crop and property damage caused by high elk numbers. Now that the hunt has wrapped up, the ministry says harvest surveys will help assess harvest levels and landowner access and will guide future wildlife management plans. It adds conservation officers continue enforcement throughout the season and will respond to violations as needed. Smith says he understands landowners' concerns, but believes the hunt should have been designed differently and says Saskatchewan needs ethical, science-driven management to ensure wildlife is harvested responsibly and sustainably. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A group of farmers joined the NDP at the Legislative Building this week, calling on the government to crack down on illegal drainage. The NDP says the government policy allows drainage without recourse for landowners. Ag Minister Daryl Harrison said in question period that the policy's development involved more than 80 stakeholders and balances resiliency with economic growth. Some producers who spoke after question period say they face the threat of expropriation due to water from upstream landowners.
But today, these agencies are being used to drain large areas of the province in order to increase cultivation for some farmers and bring illegally drained wetlands into compliance. This is not why these policies were created.
CTV News has reached out to the Saskatchewan Water Security Agency for additional comment. We'll have that for you when we get it. A Calgary teen has been charged with using artificial intelligence to create child sex abuse and exploitation material. Police say the 17-year-old high school student used AI technology to sexualize photos of girls from several different high schools around the area. Now, after officers received a tip that those images had been shared on social media, a search warrant was executed last month at a Calgary home. 2 cell phones, a tablet, and a laptop were seized. The teen is now facing charges for making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation materials, along with criminal harassment.
This is not a joke. It's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense. We will take steps to stop this behavior. AI can recreate almost anything, good or bad. And the caveat we always use is not necessarily bad platforms, not bad software. It's bad behavior utilizing those platforms and software.
Police aren't identifying any of the students or schools involved. The accused is due back in court on January 8th. Swift Current Broncos' losing streak has reached 7 games, and here's something you don't see very often.
1:05 to go in the game. Xavier Went is out of the goal. He's looking. He's going to try it. Xavier Went for the empty net. He scores!
Insult to injury on how the U.S. road trip has gone for the Broncos. Goalie goal. Tri-City Americans goaltender Xavier Went from behind his own red line, turned aside all 23 shots he faced as well. They win 4-0. Road trip has not been kind to the Broncos.
It bounces back out front. Egan ties it up. Turco comes onto it. The slot back to Hyland for a shot. Scores!
Saskatoon Blades dropped their 4th in a row, falling 4-1 to the Brandon Wheat Kings.
From close range to put the Wheat Kings up 1-0.
Into centers, the Tigers work back in. Wu navigates through skates. High slot gives left side. They shoot. They score!
And the Medicine Hat Tigers beat the Prince Albert Raiders 7-1, who have now lost 2 in a row. Let's get to our weather center and talk about that bitter cold out there.
That's right. Well, we aren't experiencing it quite yet, but it is to come. We'll get more into that here coming up. Let's look at that current temperature here in Regina first. -4 as of right now. Once that sun does rise again, we are going to be seeing a little bit of a cloudy day, but we aren't expecting to see those temperatures drop too low for this Thursday. Now over to Saskatoon, 1 degree currently. Again, some clouds hanging around in the sky. That is expected to last throughout the day. That wind speed is picking up a little bit, 19 kilometers per hour west. Now let's look over at our futurecast here. You can see some systems moving through the province. A little bit of snow on the way. This is about midnight, rolling into 1 a.m. The Prince Albert area swift current is expecting to see some snowfall coming through. So on your commute tomorrow morning, just be a little bit extra careful. It will be a little bit snowy out there. Now let's look at snowfall totals here in the province. Again, swift current seeing the most amount of snow at about that 6 centimeters. The rest of Saskatchewan not expecting to see a ton for the next about 24 hours. However, starting next week is when we'll see a little bit more snow coming our way. Now let's look at our current temperatures here. Stony Rapids -21, Buffalo Narrows -9. We've got South End at -19, Melfort -5, Prince Albert -5 as well, and Spiritwood sitting at -3. The Battlefords and Kindersley at 0 degrees, Wynyard -4, Yorkton -8, Estevan -11. We've got Easton at -4, Swift Current -1. Now for our highs today in the province, the Battleford seeing 0 degrees. We've got Prince Albert at -4, Yorkton -3, Swift Current -1, Moose Jaw 1 degree along with Weyburn and Estevan. Now you can see some of the snow rolling in. Again, that will be later into this evening and early tomorrow morning. Now for a 5-day forecast in Regina, -1 as our high. Again, some snowfall expected to come our way, light flurries. We aren't going to be seeing anything too heavy for this week. As we roll into the weekend, we do see that sun start to come out, but those temperatures are dropping. -19 on Saturday, and on Sunday, -13. Now over to Saskatoon. Today, -2 as that high. Again, that sun is coming out tomorrow, but -15. And as we roll into the weekend for Saskatoon, -23 on Saturday, -14 on Sunday. So there is some sunshine coming our way, but again, make sure you're bundling up because those temperatures are getting cold.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Celebrate the holidays with Johnny Reed coming to Connexus Arts Center on Thursday, December 11th. You can enter online now at ctvregina.ca for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the show.
It's This Week in Politics as we welcome in the Mayor, Chad Baczynski. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We've been talking nothing but City of Regina politics in our newscast in the last little while, and we start with the mission that 2 mayors prior to yourself have tried to get done. That's redevelop the rail yards. Dewdney Avenue is finally done. Let's start there. It looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic, and that's the key, right? We needed to get Dewdney Avenue done, and you know it looks amazing, but the important part for the yards is underground. We needed to get that underground infrastructure completed, so we had the capacity and the capability to actually develop the yard. So now that that's in place, I'm very excited that we moved quickly to prepare ourselves to go to market and get proposals to get the yards built.
I imagine that the businesses along Dewdney Avenue, the calls to your office are a lot different these days?
The businesses are very excited that it's open, and you know, again, a huge thank you to them. You know, they endured 2 years of very, very tough times through construction, and I'm really glad that now they get to reap the benefits of such a beautiful street.
Now, you got the underground work done. One of the proposals, the highly publicized, easy for me to say, publicized baseball diamond that wants to go in the area. They also want a hockey rink there. There's been a few other ideas floated. Are you tied to any one project?
No, not tied to any one project. That's the entire process that we're going to go through. We're going to go through a negotiated RFP process, leaning heavily on that vision component, because we want a developer to come forward and give those, you know, kind of great ideas for such an important space downtown. And so we want to see what is kind of the art of the possible for this space.
What would you like to see there?
I keep getting asked that question, and
but it's a valid question, right?
It is,
because it's a key piece of property that so many people have tried to develop.
Yeah, for me, it's really not about me. And actually, interestingly enough, we had a discussion about that, about keeping keeping the politics out of it. So for me, it's actually what is complementary to the businesses there who have went through that construction and something that'll enhance that space for them. So I'm open to whatever is the best option for the businesses down Dewdney and the overall warehouse district in downtown.
Kind of like Councillor Stiglitz, who said, I just want it to be used. Right?
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
This all comes at a time when we're talking and debating about taxes and mill rate increases. So this is another project that won't in fact impact this budget cycle, but it will down the line. People are fed up with taxes going up. How do you justify developing this area when it's going to cost a lot of money?
Well, this area, I mean, our investment is in the undergrounds. We're actually looking for those partners or those developers to come forward and do the vertical development and find a balance there. So we're actually not expecting this to cost taxpayers money. That's the key. In fact, we actually have funding from other levels of government to put into if there's housing development in that there, we can actually supplement that through other grant funding. So the expectation is that that's not going to be a subsidized space. It's something that we want developers to come forward and they find a model that works, that they get revenue not from the city but from the development that they put on the site.
Last thing we need to touch on is the Wascana View residents were upset with the possible expansion of Prince of Wales Drive. That's years away in possibility, but maybe a comment on that if you could.
Absolutely. You know, this is something that has been on the books for decades, knowing that sometime in the future there's going to need to be some kind of a connection there. What I know is we are very, very early. We are going to start a functional study, which will include engagement with all stakeholders, do that public engagement, talk about safety, talk about sensitive areas, environment concerns. That's the work that needs to happen first. It's a 5 to 15-year horizon we're talking about right now in terms of actually having to have something there. So in the meantime, we're going to do a lot of work to make sure we understand what is the best way to make that connection with the least amount of impact.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Here's what's happening in our community. A Christmas tea and bake sale happens Saturday, December 6th from 1 to 4 p.m. over at the Broadway United Church on Broadway Avenue. Admission is $5. An old-time dance Saturday, December 6th at 7:30 p.m. at the Hazeldale Recreation Center. For more, call 306-547-4284. St. Basil's Bake Sale Saturday, December 6th at 10 a.m. at St. Basil's Parish Center, 1717 Toronto Street. Christmas concert Sunday, December 7th at 2:30 p.m. German Club, which is at 1727 St. John Street. Call 306-352-5114. And a Christmas cafe held by the Regina Ladies Choir Monday, December 8th at 7 p.m. at Christ Lutheran Church, 4825 Dewdney Avenue. Admission by donation. If you'd like your event shown here, you gotta email reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance.
Let's check in again with Janella Pye at Last Mountain Distillery.
All right, well, we're coming back to you from Lumsden at Last Mountain Distillery. I've got Braden back with me. Now, Braden, tell us a little bit about these festive items that you have in front of us here.
Yeah, we have a wide variety of different holiday-specific stuff that we've made for this season. Most of them are distillery exclusive, so they can only be purchased here. So something like our Advent calendar has 12 different spirits that they can try of ours. Something new that we did this year, we have a hazelnut cream liquor that is perfect for your hot chocolate or coffee on those warm days, or a staple of ours has been our chocolate hazelnut, which kind of tastes like the toffee chocolates you have around Christmas time.
All right, and who do we have next to us here? These are not local, but they are brought in fairly local.
Yeah, so the honey cinnamon liqueur is one we make with a partnership. It is a old Polish recipe, so that one we've had around for quite a while. And then our salted caramel, we partnered with Filigree to kind of use their salted caramel in our whiskey and make a great holiday product.
And there's kind of a neat story behind it. Tell me a little bit about what that is.
Yeah, everything that we make here and that we have in stores is typically as local as we can get. So we're working with local producers, local suppliers, kind of building that community around here in Saskatchewan.
All right, well, really interesting. Thank you so much. You and I are going to be back one more time here this morning.
Great. Janelle, thank you so much. We will see you again in a little while.
It's It's December 4th, and we have these milestones to share with you. Let's start off with a big happy birthday going out to Justice for her 23rd birthday today. We hope you have an awesome day with love from your family. Also celebrating today is Vera. Happy birthday to you. This shout out is coming from your mom, dad, grandma, papa, Uncle Travis, Auntie Allison, and cousin Olivia. Turning 11 years old today is Liam. Happy birthday to you from your mom, dad, Emily, and Archie. Have a wonderful day. Happy birthday to Krista. This photo is coming with the message that reads, Happy birthday to Oma from your husband and grandchildren. We hope this is the best one yet. Enjoy. Also celebrating another trip around the sun is Mark. Today is his 40th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your special day. Lots of love from your mom and dad. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Callan. He's now into double ditches. Have the best day with lots of love from your whole family. And finally, turning 8 years old today is Owen. Happy birthday, Owen. Have a great day. This shout out is coming to you with lots of love from your mom, dad, and Liam. Enjoy your day.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates. Because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
If you have a milestone coming up, you can send us an email at yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Please make sure you're sending them at least one day in advance.
Chase, what's going on the radio today?
Well, we just shook the tree with Michaela. She had a perfect play and was able to take home $500 to Charm Diamond Center and some tickets for Johnny Reed's Christmas special coming up next week. Tickets are still available for that show, too, at PureCountry927.ca. And speaking of prizes, I'm hearing, yes, a Christmas song is just starting to play here. So if you fire us up with the iHeartRadio app and then you enter that Christmas song at PureCountry927.ca, that could win you some platinum passes to Country Thunder this year.
Chase, thanks so much, and congratulations to Michaela. Lots of prize winners over there.
Thanks, Daryl. See you tomorrow.
You find, Becca, we end this once and for all. Together.
Stranger Things is coming to the big screen. Netflix has announced that the Stranger Things finale will screen in over 500 movie theaters across the U.S. and Canada from December 31st through January 1st. Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga's Die With a Smile is the #1 most popular song this year among YouTube subscribers. Bruno Mars also tops the list for most popular songs on Apple Music with singer Rosie and their hit APT. Amazon Music's list was unranked but included songs from K-pop Demon Hunters.
What a nice sunny day. Yeah, nice and sunny.
The stars of Bluey are coming to Disney parks and cruises next year. The real life-size characters Bluey and Bingo will be at Disneyland in March, Disney World in the summer, and also onboard select domestic Disney cruises. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And before he was an Academy Award winner, he was saving us from The Mummy. Happy birthday to Brendan Fraser, who turns 57 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
As we always say, guests go first.
All right, well, let's kick things off with a young foodie.
He's just crushing life. Look at him.
He's so cute.
Eating his way through Europe.
He's only a year old and, of course, is living his life to the fullest. He's been traveling the world and eating his way through it as well. What a lucky little guy. Look at that happy soul.
His eyes are closed in most of those. Is he eating himself to sleep?
Carbs.
Little fella.
Oh, what a happy guy.
JD, how about you? What do you got?
All right, here's a brilliant way to make fun of your partner.
Little daddy house shoes.
Are you ripping on me because I...
You wear your little daddy house shoes everywhere you go. When you go get them.
Little daddy house shoes, making fun of her husband's slippers. I love this. A great use for auto, too.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hit. Here's a cool sound that you may not have heard before. That's what an elk sounds like.
Wow.
It's really cute.
There you go. Yeah. That's what an elk
I like
sounds
that
like.
a lot.
Sounds like a little bit of like a scream. A series of chirps afterwards.
I love it. Give me 4 of them.
My dad's an elk. He screams a lot differently than this, if I recall from my youth.
What?
Elks,
right. I get
there
it.
You go. Janelle, I'll have to explain it to Janelle. I'll do that in the break. Time out. We're back after this. Welcome to Thursday, December 4th.
Well, right now I'm not working. Many families are finding it impossible to have full-time jobs because somebody has to be on constant call. Somebody has to be able to go to the school on a moment's notice. It affects families a lot.
Parents of children with complex needs are calling for action as their children have been placed in modified schedules.
What I can say is that this was a very complex investigation. Any creativity of the minds of my colleagues, our service supported 100%, and I'm proud of the work that was done.
A man at the center of a Saskatoon homicide investigation making his first court appearance.
By removing these coniferous trees, these spruce, these pines, these firs, it creates a bit of a green belt.
Prince Albert National Park opening its 10th annual Christmas tree harvest. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Janelle Lippi. Thanks for being back with us.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hey, have you ever had a live tree, a real tree? Would you go out into PA National Park and cut down a tree?
No.
Drag it through the forest
They're
like a
happy
lumberjack?
out there. They're happy out there.
I assume they are. We'll find out why the people up there in PA are actually doing this and allowing you to come and cut down your own tree in just a second. Let's get to your news headlines. We begin with the NDP opposition wanting to know why the province is spending $800 million in special funding for SaskPower. The expenditure was approved during a government committee meeting at the Legislative Building. The minister in charge of SaskPower was not present to provide an explanation. The opposition says that's unusual.
And what does this mean? This means that every time people in this province buy groceries, fill up their tank, turn on their lights, they are going to be paying for this $1 billion of public money.
In a written response, the government said it's not unusual for a minister to be unavailable for a committee meeting. The statement provided no explanation about how SaskPower will spend that money. A group of farmers was at the Legislative Building calling on the government for a crackdown on illegal drainage. The NDP says government policy allows drainage without recourse for landowners. The Ag Minister said in question period the policy's development involved over 80 stakeholders and groups and balances resiliency with economic growth. Some producers who spoke after question period say they feel the threat of expropriation due to upstream landowners.
But today, these agencies are being used to drain large areas of the province in order to increase cultivation for some farmers and bring illegally drained wetlands into compliance. This is not why these policies were created.
CTV News has reached out to the Water Security Agency for additional comment. We'll have that for you when we get it. The province is creating a new law that will allow residents to sue drug traffickers. The Response to Illicit Drugs Act creates a right for the province and people harmed by drug offenders to pursue civil legal action and recover costs associated with illegal drug trafficking and production. The new legislation follows an increase in the maximum fine for certain drug trafficking offenses to $1 million earlier this year. Parents of complex needs children are calling attention to a lack of supports in schools. Hallie Mandrick reports.
Erin Gerwing is home with her son, Luca, when she would typically be at work. Luca, who has autism, has been placed on a modified schedule due to a lack of full-time educational assistance at his school.
Many families are finding it impossible to have full-time jobs because somebody has to be on constant call. Somebody has to be able to go to the school on a moment's notice.
She's not the only one facing this issue. Rochelle Young says her son's EA support was recently taken away, forcing the second grader with autism to also shift to a modified schedule.
That month, as you can imagine, was incredibly stressful for us as we did not have any childcare lined up for our child. I cried a lot of tears, and I was incredibly angry that my child was being treated so unfairly because of a funding issue.
The Saskatchewan Teachers Federation says a lack of funding for educational assistance is causing significant strain on both teachers and students. And while the STF says recent changes to federal programs for some students have contributed to the issue, education falls under the jurisdiction of the province.
Ultimately, this is still the responsibility of the provincial government. We need to continue to see those improvements in funding, and last year was really encouraging to see that improvement in our per student funding.
In a statement to CTV, the province says education is set to receive an increase of $186.4 million in the 2025-26 school year operating fund, adding, quote, "Our government is working to ease the pressure and complexities in Saskatchewan classrooms through initiatives like the expansion of the specialized support classrooms to an additional 50 classrooms this year and funding for additional classroom complexity teachers through the recent collective bargaining agreement. For parents like Rochelle Young and Aaron Gerwing, that can't come soon enough."
And imagine being overwhelmed to the point of panic and being told there was nowhere for you to go, no one for you to turn to, and to try harder.
They both want the necessary supports for both teachers and children and will continue to advocate for that until it happens. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Jeremy, there was a rally to support the city's homeless yesterday. What were they saying?
Well, Daryl, they are calling on the city to do more, but the city says it can't have encampments grow across the city. More than 24 people braved the cold yesterday to rally at Civic Square, saying the city needs to build more shelters, open more spaces, and create a centralized area for encampments. The city is asking residents to keep reporting people living in encampments so they can be connected to safe supports and stay out of the cold. And the city says centralized encampments have not worked in other communities, with them often becoming unsafe and a target for criminal activity.
Some of the things that you see is like disease outbreak, overdoses, the fires. There's actually a lot of violence, human trafficking. They can turn very unsafe.
If they won't allow it, then we may as well start counting the people that we're going to lose.
2 overnight warm-up locations have opened downtown at the former STC bus depot and at St. Mary's Church on 20th Street. A Saskatoon homicide case has taken a new turn. Nikita Tatusis, one of 8 people accused in the death of Tim Tatusis, is now facing a first-degree murder charge. He was originally charged with manslaughter. Tim Tatusis was found dead December 18th of last year. Police discovered his body while executing a search warrant at a home in the 1700 block of 22nd Street West. Well, Darrell, council debating again development of that key piece of land in your city.
Yeah, they're talking about the rail yards. Many have tried. Let's see if it happens this time.
How do we measure success? To me, it means people actually go down there and use it, whether they walk there, take transit, or drive down there, and we need to be able to handle all of those things.
The council has allowed administration to enter the first phase of a development and initiate a procurement process. Rumors have circulated about what will go there. There is a proposal for a new baseball stadium, but the city says they're not tied to anything.
There's nothing in any kind of hold where the land has to be used for that purpose. It doesn't preclude its use, so there's nothing that council has said that would preclude it in the community plan or anything like that. So if somebody wanted to put forward a bid that included any kind of sports stadium, that would be allowed and be weighed.
If you were with us on CTV Regina or Yorkton, you saw a conversation with the mayor where we spoke extensively about this. You can find that on our website right now. Community fridges play a big role in helping those less fortunate with food security, but occasionally those fridges are damaged or more recently destroyed by fire. Damian Smith reports.
Tuesday evening, a valuable piece of the North Central neighborhood was lost after the community fridge went up in flames.
Honestly, I was shocked about it, shocked and saddened, just simply because there is a lot of people who use this resource in the community.
Indigenous Christian Fellowship is a big supplier of the fridge.
We're cooking meals 3 times a week, and then we're preparing hampers and other things like that for the community as well.
Moving from Toronto in July, Elkerton has been impressed with Regina's willingness to give, especially to those who are homeless.
I don't recall ever seeing anything like this there, and so it seemed like a unique thing that happened in Regina. And I thought it was interesting that people would just kind of leave stuff out, and it was kind of almost an honor system.
Unfortunately, this is not the only time a community fridge has been set on fire. 15 months ago, the fridge in Cathedral also burned.
It's such a valuable kind of tool in the neighborhood to get food into people's hands. It's this expectation of you're taking just to survive for a couple more days.
Now there are only 2 community fridges left in the city.
Obviously, our hope is always to, take this loss and stay strong and keep moving forward, right? I mean, there's a lot of people that rely on the support.
Sedlakowski says they'll look to rebuild another fridge in the same spot. The Regina Fire Department says that the fire is still under investigation. Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
A Calgary teen is facing multiple serious charges after allegedly using artificial intelligence to create sexually explicit images. Police say the high school student used AI to sexualize photos of girls between the age of 14 and 18 from several different high schools around the area. Tim Brook reports.
After receiving a disturbing tip in October, police searched the home of a 17-year-old Calgarian last month. They seized 2 phones, a tablet, and a laptop.
We are alleging this high school student was using artificial intelligence to create child sexual abuse and exploitation material of fellow students throughout Calgary high schools.
Officers say the student ran existing real photos through AI programs to create sexualized images they then shared online. Police aren't naming any of the schools involved to protect the identity of the victims and the accused, who are all underage.
Our biggest takeaway from today is that we need people to understand that this is not a joke, it's not a prank. This is the most extreme form of bullying and a criminal offense.
It's also an example of a new, potentially dangerous age of online manipulation and misinformation. Many of the young people we spoke to say they're all too familiar with the practice of swapping faces and bodies online, though this situation is especially disturbing.
I think it's terrible. I don't think that people should have the right to use other people's body, their image, without their consent.
I think it's weird making something of what it's not.
It's kind of silly. I think it impedes people's privacy, and I feel like you should get permission before using people's photos and data.
With the open access to fairly advanced AI tools that allow to distort reality and allow to essentially implement or create any fantasies.
The accused is facing charges for making, possessing, and distributing child sexual abuse and exploitation materials, along with criminal harassment. They're next due in court January 8th.
Prince Albert National Park is open for its 10th annual Christmas tree harvest. Jasmine Peltier was up there.
If you're looking for a Christmas tree, Prince Albert National Park might be a great place to start. Visitors to Prince Albert National Park will have until December 23rd to harvest a Christmas tree from the community fuel break surrounding Waskesiu. The park says the harvest helps reduce the number of flammable trees.
Having those trees thinned out would slow the speed of an approaching wildfire and help give time for the community to prepare.
Visitors to this year's harvest will need to pick up Christmas tree activity passes and a map at the visitor center before chopping down their tree.
Chainsaws are not permitted, so bring a handsaw with you. Make sure that you dress in warm layers, so bring your mittens, bring your toque. You can bring a sled if you'd like to haul your tree away.
The park says around 160 visitors participated in last year's harvest. Christmas tree expert Ray Gaudette says it's important to get a live tree in water before the green membrane under the bark dries up.
Allow it to open up, and an hour and a half or 2 hours later, then what you would like to do is fill your stand with hot tap water, and what you're going to do is you're going to stimulate that membrane.
He says that tree owners should make sure the base of the tree has a fresh cut before it's brought indoors. Visitors to Prince Albert National Park will have to purchase a park pass until the free entry Canada Strong Pass comes back into effect December 12th. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
All right, let's talk about what we need to wear when we get out the door to head to school or wherever you're going to go today.
That's right. Well, today you'll want to bundle up a little bit, but we are seeing nice temperatures still. Regardless, let's look here in Regina at our current temperature, -3. Now, there is a little bit of a breeze moving through the city as well. So again, grab your toque, your mitts. You're going to want to bundle up. West winds at about 20 kilometers per hour here in Regina. Now over to Saskatoon, 0 degrees, a little bit nicer even. Again, those clouds are in the sky. That is expected to last throughout the day. However, those temperatures today expected to be above seasonal for the most part. Now let's take a look over at our futurecast here. You can see some snow systems moving through the province. Again, this is very, very early tomorrow morning, so it is something to be mindful of. Some snow coming towards Swift Current and Prince Albert moving through the province here. So just be careful on your morning commute tomorrow because it could be a little bit slippery and a little bit snowy. Now for our total snowfalls amounts here across the province, Swift Current still seeing the most at about 6 centimeters. The rest of Saskatchewan, however, at that 1 centimeter. So a little bit of snow expected for the most part, but again, those roads get a little bit slick. Over for current temperatures, Stony Rapids -22 degrees. We've got Buffalo Narrows at -10, Nipawin -7, Hudson Bay -8, Spiritwood sitting at about -3. The Battleford's -1, Kindersley 1 degree, Wynyard -3. We've got Yorkton at -6, Estevan -11, and East End -2. Now for our highs today, the Battleford seeing about -1, Prince Albert -4, Yorkton -3, still seeing some snow towards the south end of the province, Swift Current -1, Moose Jaw 2 degrees, Weyburn 1 along with Estevan. Now let's take a look over at our 7-day forecast here in Regina. -1 is our high for today. Again, expecting to see some snowfall, especially late into the evening and early morning for tomorrow. As we roll into the weekend, we'll start to see that sun coming out, but those temperatures are dropping. On Saturday, -19. On Sunday, -13. As we roll into next week, on Tuesday, expecting to see more snow coming our way and -3. Over to Saskatoon today, -2 as that high. Starting tomorrow, seeing that sun coming out a little bit, but again, those temperatures dropping. Tomorrow, that high of about -15, and on Saturday, -23, so you will want to bundle up this weekend. As we roll into next week, though, we will start that Tuesday off -7, and Saskatoon is expecting some snow.
Back on December 4th in 1909, the first Grey Cup game was played in Toronto. December 4th, 1995, Fisheries Minister Brian Tobin signed the UN Treaty on Migrating Fish Stocks to protect cod stocks on the Grand Banks. And December 4th, 1985, Beverly McLaughlin became the first woman appointed to the BC Court of Appeal.
Google Canada is out with its year in review, highlighting the searches that defined 2025, and our national pride was on full display. The Blue Jays dominated trends, including searches for players like George Springer, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Pop culture also top of mind as Canadians tried to learn more about Labubu, the viral toy, of course. And then 6-7. People trying to figure that one out all year long. So we also tried to navigate a changing political landscape. Searches for Mark Carney, Zohran Mamdani, Jagmeet Singh. And the top questions Canadians wanted to know: why is Canada Post on strike? Why did Trudeau resign? And why do baseball players spit?
Mamdani was actually the most mispronounced word of 2025 too. His name was the most mispronounced. Apparently, that's
interesting.
That's the latest.
How it's spelled.
There you go. There you go. I like that the Toronto Blue Jays were the top Googles. Like who plays for the Toronto Blue Jays? This is all the people jumped on the bandwagon. Let's talk about.
I did.
I'm a Red Sox fan. What can you do? Most streamed artist lists are out for everybody. We're wondering what artist you listen to most in 2025. Janelle Lepai, what is on the list?
Well, we got some good answers coming in this morning. We've got one from Kathy here who says, of course, Riley Green. He's in all my playlists, including Christmas.
And he'll be at Country Thunder Saskatchewan this year as one of the headliners.
Hey, no way. All right, well, don't miss out on that. And then we've also got Donna here who says Kenny Chesney. Very nice. All right, let's take a look over here. Oh, this one, we've got a good one here. From Michelle, and she sent in a Cree singer. From Sandy Lake First Nations, Juno Award-winning Songwriter of the Year in 2024. Great voice, wonderful person. Another great answer. Thank you so much, Michelle. Let's take a look. If I can get the smart, there we go. We got Francis who also sent in The Dead South. And we got Donna who sent in VBND. So it sounds like one of the members of this group here is her grandson. So I did add a little photo here that she had also sent in. How fun is that?
I have a friend who's an artist, and he takes two of his smartphones, like the old ones, and he puts them in the corner of a room with the volume down and just plays his own music because it pays him. Like, that's the greatest thing you've ever.
So a little life hack for everybody.
Might as well. There you go. Earn a little side cash, right?
Why not?
With your 0.1 cents per stream.
Those are our answers.
0.02 or something.
It's horrible. Yeah. That's our question of the day for today. We got more news and everything coming up after this.
Temperature falls, the danger rises. In 2023, more than 1,000 deaths in the U.S. were due to excessive cold or hypothermia. And in the months ahead, experts are urging everyone to stay safe.
Winter weather can be extremely dangerous in so many ways.
The American Red Cross says if you do go out in extremely cold weather, wear layers of loose clothing and a coat, hat, mittens, and water-resistant boots. Using a scarf to cover your face and mouth can also help. And inside, if you use a space heater or fireplace, keep anything that could catch fire at least 3 feet away from the heat. And to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning, don't use an oven to warm your home and only use generators outdoors.
This past year, the Red Cross has responded to more than 48,000 home fires. And this time of year in particular, a lot of that is caused because people are just trying to stay warm.
You should also know signs of potentially deadly hypothermia, including shivering, exhaustion, confusion, fumbling hands, memory loss, slurred speech, and drowsiness. When it comes to frostbite, symptoms can include a white or grayish yellow skin area, skin that feels unusually firm or waxy, and numbness.
Make sure to get out of the cold immediately and to seek medical attention urgently.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
It has been quite a morning at Ronald McDonald House, where our Mike Siona has been gearing up for the Grinch.
Where are you, Christmas? Da, 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 da.
It's the Grinch, yes! Whoville in the Garden and Karen Lindsley. That was awesome. Thank you. Where are you, Christmas? Indeed. Why can't I find you? I think is the lyric.
Oh, yeah.
But we find ourselves here at Whoville in the Garden, and you can tell we're having a great time here this morning, sitting by the fire, which is really what this space is all about for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Whoville at the Garden opens tomorrow at 5:15 here at Ronald McDonald House. Santa will be here with the Coke truck, which is always super magical. He'll be here till 5:30. 5:45. The Grinch will be here. Cindy Lou Who will be here. Hot chocolate, cookies. Bring your family down. It's going to be a great time, and it runs till December 21st.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, we've talked about the need, the 34 rooms, how you guys are at capacity, which is unfortunate, but it is the reality of our situation here. This is also an opportunity to raise awareness for what you guys do and also spread some Christmas cheer, not just to the general public, but obviously to the families that are here.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than looking up in some of the guest rooms, seeing little ones peeking out, seeing what's going on here at the garden, getting that opportunity to come and see Santa themselves. They can come out even in their pajamas if they want to. It just really helps to brighten their moods during this difficult time.
No doubt. And when you have a child who's ill, I mean, it changes everything. You want to talk about, I have 1,000 problems until you have a health problem, then you have one problem. And that's exactly what we're up against. So specifically this time of year, so important to really offer that support.
It really is. And just to recognize that life doesn't look normal for these families during this difficult time. And so we want to do our best to provide some normal holiday season activities in order to support them, just to bring a little bit of Christmas joy during this time.
Fantastic. You can find out more details on the website on your screen. And of course, just pop on down. Whoville in the Garden right here in the shadows. I guess there's no sun yet, but in the shadows of the Ronald McDonald House, Saskatchewan, right here in Saskatoon. We'd love to have you out. And don't forget, tomorrow, 5:15, Santa is coming.
Good morning, 8:30 on your morning. A man at the center of a Saskatoon homicide investigation made his first court appearance yesterday. 30-year-old Gage Ulmer Busler is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated assault, and kidnapping in the death of 31-year-old Chad Romanski. The arrest comes about 5 months after Romanski's remains were found near Highway 7. An investigator says police used some outside-the-box techniques to move that case forward.
What I can say is that this was a very complex investigation. Any creativity of the minds of my colleagues, our service supported 100%, and I'm proud of the work that was done.
Ulmer Busler said he plans on hiring his own lawyer and is scheduled to be back in court on Tuesday. Prince Albert police have charged a man in connection with the death of Wayne Keller over the summer. On Monday, 26-year-old William Hunt Charles was arrested at Prince Albert Correctional Center, where he was in custody on unrelated charges. Hunt Charles is charged with second-degree murder in Keller's death. The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says it has received dozens of complaints about unethical hunting in recent weeks. As Stacey Hahn tells us, it comes after an extra elk hunt that faced some controversy wraps up. In a note, some viewers might find these images difficult.
These photos posted to social media show 2 elk shot and left in the Spiritwood area. Sask Tip says conservation officers believe the shooter fired into a herd and may not have realized they killed multiple animals. The Saskatchewan Wildlife Federation says shooting and abandoning an animal is unacceptable.
We would argue in that case you're into poaching case and not a hunting case. We class that as waste of game. So unacceptable both from a legal and ethical point of view.
During the antlerless elk hunt, which ran from November 23rd to the 27th in the southern half of the province, the Wildlife Federation says it received roughly 20 complaints per day about animals being shot and left. Executive Director Todd Smith believes some hunters may not have been familiar with regulations and calls the situation concerning.
It's a waste of our resources. The resources in the province belong to all the citizens of the province. So not only potentially for recruitment later on for future wildlife populations, but also the meat and the resource going to waste is a large concern for us.
In a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Environment says the antlerless hunt was introduced to address crop and property damage caused by high elk numbers. Now that the hunt has wrapped up, the ministry says harvest surveys will help assess harvest levels and landowner access and will guide future wildlife management plans. It adds adds conservation officers continue enforcement throughout the season and will respond to violations as needed. Smith says he understands landowners' concerns, but believes the hunt should have been designed differently, and says Saskatchewan needs ethical, science-driven management to ensure wildlife is harvested responsibly and sustainably. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Some residents in Regina's Wascana View are not happy about a proposed study that could result in Prince of Wales Drive being extended to Wascana Parkway. Jacob Carr reports.
The Wascana View Action Group is saying to City of Regina officials that the proposed feasibility study to extend Prince of Wales Drive to Wascana Parkway cannot happen because of the permanent conservation easement on the McKell-Wascana Conservation Park.
An encroachment means that there will be no work done on the easement, and as a result, a road going through there would be work on the easement. And working closely with Ducks Unlimited, they've made it quite clear they're not prepared to give permission to go through the reserve.
In a response to the group's concerns, the City of Regina says that the work will only move forward if the project proves feasible and the future budget is approved by City Council. The city recognized the concerns raised and will review and update previous assessments to identify any mitigation or design measures required. But the group told CTV News they have talked to several residents in the Creeks who think the city needs to quit while they're ahead.
I'm paying $1,500 a month in property taxes for us to do a third study and spend another $300,000, especially given what we have outlined with Ducks Unlimited.
2 previous feasibility studies were completed, according to the group, including one in 2012 that made it clear that the conservation park could not be encroached upon. Another concern, the amount of increased vehicle traffic that the extended road would create in an already highly congested school zone.
Many parents are picking up their children at the same time the school buses are there, and they're taking their children off to extracurricular activities. To bring now another 15 or 20,000 vehicles through. That's why the concern, and the Regina Public School Board is going to express that concern to City Council here in the near future.
Ewan and Huntington say discussions with City Council are ongoing. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
The City of Saskatoon's new compost processing plant will cost more than originally expected, but federal money will help offset that increase, they say. The new plant was supposed to cost $22.1 million, but higher than anticipated bids from contractors, along with federal funding stipulations, have increased the cost to about $30.5 million. Ottawa is committing $8.4 million with the conditions that the project uses green technology like electric trucks and low-carbon concrete. The city says it will save $1 million every year on operating costs. City is borrowing money to pay for the facility, but utility fees will pay it back over, they say, 20 years. Sports news. Need you to stop what you're doing and look at your screen, because it's not every day you see something like this, especially in junior hockey.
1:05 to go in the game. Xavier Went is out of the goal. He's looking. He's going to try it. Xavier Went for the empty net. He scores!
A goalie goal. Tri-City Americans goalie Xavier Went scoring from behind his own red line. He also turned aside 23 shots he faced in a 4-0 shutout over the Swift Current Broncos. So if you're in Swift, maybe you don't like this video as much. Their losing streak has now hit 7 games.
It bounces back out front. Egan ties it up. Turco comes onto it. The slot back to Highland for a shot. Scores!
Saskatoon Blaze dropped their 4th in a row, falling 4-1 to the Brandon Wheat Kings.
Into centers, the Tigers work back in. Wu navigates through skates. High slot gives left side. They shoot. They score!
Very different road for the Medicine Hat Tigers. They haven't lost a game in regulation in their last 9. They beat the Prince Albert Raiders 7-1, who have now lost 2 in a row. Not a good night on ice for the Saskatchewan-based hockey teams. We'll see if they can do better the next coming days. Janelle Lepai, what's going on in the weather today?
Well, we do have a good day ahead of us. As for temperatures across Saskatchewan, let's take a look here in Regina, -2 currently. We're seeing that sun rise now, but again, it is a cloudier day. We are expecting to see some flurries in the Regina and Saskatoon areas here as the day goes on, especially into the afternoon and the evening. Let's take a look over at Saskatoon. 0 degrees currently. Again, a cloudier day. Starting to see those wind speeds pick up a little bit west-northwest. 19 kilometers per hour. Over for our future cast here, you can see some snow systems moving through the province, especially into tonight and very early tomorrow morning. So the Prince Albert Swift Current areas are expecting to see those snowfalls coming their way. As you can see here for our total snowfall amounts, though, Swift Current seeing the most amount of snow, 6 centimeters. As for the rest of Saskatchewan, 1 centimeter for the most part. So we aren't expecting to see a ton, just some flurries across the province. Swift Current, however, if you're driving tomorrow morning on your way to work, take it a little bit slower. It will be a little bit slick out there. Current temperatures across the province, Stony Rapids -22 along with South End. Buffalo Narrows -10, Spiritwood -3. We've got Hudson Bay -8. The Battleford's -1, Kindersley 1 degree. Swift Current again -1, East End -2 along with Assiniboia. Estevan -11 and Yorkton -6. Now for our highs today, Battleford seeing about -1, Prince Albert -4, Yorkton -3, and as we get towards the southern end of the province, that is where we're starting to see some of that snow and a little bit of flurries coming our way today. Swift Current -1, Moose Jaw 2 degrees, Weyburn 1 degree along with Estevan. Now for our 5-day forecast here in Regina, -1 is our high for today. Again, seeing some flurries coming our way, especially into the afternoon and the evening. Now tomorrow we'll start to see those clouds gathering again, -12. Saturday is when that sun is starting to come out, but those temperatures are dropping. -19 on Saturday, -13 on Sunday. Over to Saskatoon today, -2 as that high. A little bit more sunshine on Friday, but again, dropping temperatures. -15 tomorrow, over the weekend, -23 on Saturday, -14 on Sunday. So if you have any weekend plans here coming up, you might want to bundle up, grab that toque and those mitts because those temperatures are getting a little low.
All right, let's head out to Lumsden once more and see what Janelle Lepie is getting up to at Last Mountain Distillery.
Okay, well, we are wrapping things up down in Lumsden at Last Mountain Distillery. But before we do that, Braden, we have more in front of us here. Some holiday shopping ideas. Tell me a little bit about what we've got.
Yeah, we have a couple different options for people. So you're looking for that unique gift for somebody. We have our Baldur's Whiskey, a couple new releases, a variety pack, kind of hitting all those things for somebody, especially those whiskey lovers. We have our Advent calendar, which you get to try a variety of different products. But then we also have some awesome stocking stuffers, which are all locally made, whether it's a cocktail bomb, some garnishes, some glassware, maybe a hat or a sweater for the holiday season.
Absolutely. So some really great ideas here for some holiday gifts. Now, where are you guys located? How can people get their hands on some of these things here?
We are right in Lumsden, so when you're coming in off the highway, we're the first building on your right-hand side. And if you have any issues or want to check us out online, we have our social media or our website.
Awesome. Okay. And personally for you, I'd be curious to know, what would you be most excited to get here?
I would be the Advent calendar, just because it has such a variety. You never know what you're going to get. Perfect for every day throughout the holidays.
That's right. Okay. And first year with the Advent calendar, what kind of inspired you guys to step out of the box and try something new?
You know, we always have people looking to try that variety.
To quote a classic holiday tune, the shoppers rush home with their treasures. And to help us in our own treasure hunts at this time of year is lifestyle expert Nikki Anastasakis. So good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're so glad you're here, and goodness knows, we're into December, and the holidays are creeping up on us. So, Nikki, tell us about the variety of gift items you have from some of the famous stores that we're all pretty familiar with.
Yes, it is the perfect time to shop right now for all your holiday gifting for everyone at Rona, which they offer everything from small to large appliances, decor, gift cards, and of course tools for the pros. We got a selection of DeWalt items from Rona, starting off with the 20-volt oscillating multi-tool kit. It's cordless. It has 3 speed settings. This is really great. Then they also have their lithium-ion LED work light. It's a rotating head and great for hands-free use. Moving on to the 4-horsepower portable vacuum. It's great for wet and dry surfaces, 5-gallon. And then we have lastly the DeWalt T-Stack mobile tower, a storage unit for home or job site.
Let's talk about the terrific selection at Giant Tiger.
They are a one-stop shop offering amazing prices. You can purchase everything from festive pajamas and cozy items, as you see on screen, to home decor, groceries, and gifts, toys from Barbie Barbie, Hot Wheels, and amazing beauty finds. I am in love with their lip butters right now. So I urge you guys to shop your local Giant Tiger at gianttiger.com or your local store. Great gifts ideas there.
Lip butter. Let's talk a little bit about some speaking of lip butter, let's talk about some personalized items that we can have for our family this time of year.
Yeah, Fujifilm is actually partnering with NHL through their new Fujifilm Print Life exclusive NHL collection. You can personalize your own mug, water bottle, or beer stein with photos right on it. So it makes for great gift ideas. It's high quality material, professional printing technique, and their newest item is the engraved tumbler, available in 20 and 40 ounces. It honestly makes for a great way to cheer for your team and a great gift idea. If you order by December 14th, you can receive it before Christmas Day. Last but not least, I want to talk about tech items from Google. I'm a big fan of Google, and right now their latest phone, the Pixel 10, has amazing photo quality. It's a great gift item for students because it helps you with exams. It has some assistance to help with homework. There's also the Pixel Buds Pro, which are earbuds, great for the music lover. And lastly, for the sports enthusiast, there's a Pixel Watch 4, and they have 50 different exercise modes. So you can purchase those items at store.google.com to learn more.
Nikki, those are some great gift ideas to help out at this time of year. We'll have to leave it there, though. Thanks again to lifestyle expert Nikki Anastasakis. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays and happy shopping.
I think the current times that we live in stress us out. I know this from my own experience. I hear it from friends and colleagues. These are tough times.
For decades, his songs have served as musical companions to millions around the world. Young fans, now parents, sharing Raffi's voice with their own children.
There are beluga grads now in tens of millions of homes, and they often tell me what an emotional experience it is for them to relive their love of my music with their own kids. And that's music to my ears.
ABC Democracy. But his latest release is more political, a response, he says, to the times we're living in.
We never thought that south of the border democracy would be challenged by the rise of fascism. I never, ever thought this would be the case. It's really important for families to be inspired to learn about a citizen's duty to keep a democracy alive and strong. Democracy is not a spectator sport.
When you see the state of the world right now, it seems as though people are becoming more tribal, more polarized.
You know, in our times, it's so important for us to remember our common humanity. Nurturance, love and compassion, empathy, inclusion, diversity. When we see one another as family, the human family, when we see our children as universal beings of light who are here deserving the best we can give them, the best nurturance, that's how we thrive.
Turn this world around. He hasn't been one to shy away from teaching life lessons to children. This song, inspired by the words of Nelson Mandela. Green dream, I have a green dream. Another creation called Green Dream is what he calls an anthem for a green future. Salam shalom. And this one, reminding the world about what unites us.
Side by side we live, salam shalom. It's about peace. Salam in Arabic means peace. Shalom in Hebrew means peace. It's all right there for us to embrace.
Are you scared about the state of the world?
I pray every day to be of service. I do the best that I can to make the most positive statements with my songs.
But are you praying harder these days?
I pray daily for gratitude and for inspiration. 'Cause your friends are my friends are your friends.
At 77, he's also championing music education. He was recently a guest panelist for a symposium in Toronto, where the Royal Conservatory launched its music education program for babies and toddlers globally.
We need to invest in our children and invest in our communities and invest in our society. And I think that doing it through music will have very dramatic effects on democracy.
As somebody who chose not to have children, you have this remarkable ability to connect to millions of children around the world. Where does that come from?
Learning that a young child is a whole person, deserving of respect, was the key learning of my life. Respect has been the core value throughout my career. That's why I've never done any commercial endorsements. I've learned so much over the years, and I'm grateful to be able to put that learning into practice, musically, joyfully.
But it keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. Said I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed.
In the heart of the Sooner State, there is a certain cat that has been giving his owner a bit of frustration.
And of course, banishing him to the woods is not an option.
Isn't it, though? Some days he's got some ways to have to change here. The ABC's Danny New has the latest.
The culprit and the crime.
So my boyfriend normally works from home, but he didn't that day. He goes to the office in Oklahoma City.
Brianna Terry of Oklahoma discovered this image on her security camera when she arrived at work a few weeks ago.
I had just gotten to work, drove 20 minutes there, and then immediately had to drive back.
It turned out her cat, Tofu, had become a little too domesticated and could now turn on the kitchen faucet with only 3 paws required. However, you'll notice Tofu does not grab a quick drink or anything. He just immediately leaves once his work is finished.
Cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just love to do things that drive you crazy.
Yeah. That's him.
In the few weeks since, this video has exploded with millions of views on social media. One commenter on X saying it's time for him to start chipping in for the bills. If he can learn how to turn the sink on, he can learn to hustle. Of course, Tofu is actually a little sweetie and has come a long way since Bree adopted him last year when he was found as a stray. In this case, Bree feels Tofu is just quite food motivated, and this is his latest way of saying, hey, give me a treat.
Keep in mind, I love him. He's the cutest thing, but he really doesn't have a lot of brain cells. So for him to figure out how to do that, I'm like, wow.
And since Tofu has not stopped turning on the faucet, Bree now has to leave its spigot permanently wrapped in this headband. So far, Bree says this method has been effective.
Hi, Tofu.
What are you doing?
Trying to find a sink to turn on.
Probably.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
She says, I'm going to throw up. This is so cute. Why would you?
You only have
Is that a
3
saying?
legs.
Is that a saying?
It is now.
It is.
Write it down.
There you go. If kids go to school and say something so cute, you're going to throw up. She's learning very quickly what Kayleen puts up with every day. That's just,
we're having fun.
Just every day. Here's a delicious holiday tradition you can check out if you find yourself in Germany. This is the time of year when people flock to the city of Dresden for a seasonal treat. Look at that on your screen. This is called Stollen, a special holiday loaf. Producer Nathan is German. He's saying in my ears, Stollen. I'm supposed to really sell it. It's made with orange peel, raisins, almonds, and a touch of marzipan. Bakers in the city have been making it for centuries, and tradition is still going strong. About 5 million loaves were sold last year. Have you ever had it?
No.
I've never even heard of it. Jeremy?
No, it looks like fruit cake, though.
Yeah.
Sort
Yeah.
of, right?
Yeah.
Which is very controversial. Do you like fruitcake? I don't.
Yeah.
You're in?
No,
nobody.
No.
See,
I
that's the
can't
thing.
even remember the last time I've had it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm buying you a fruitcake now. It's going to happen. We're going to do it. We're going to do a taste testing here. Go ahead, and this one's yours.
Okay. Well, realistically, most people in the world will never have a chance to lift the FIFA World Cup unless you build your own.
Wow.
Lego is releasing a new set, giving people a chance to make their own life-sized World Cup trophy. It's made up of 2,842 bricks
That's
in
a lot
total.
of bricks to step on.
That's a lot. That would hurt. Watch your step. It's the same height as the real deal at 36.6 centimeters tall. Of course, it's made of plastic rather than 18-karat gold.
Well, that's probably good. You're a Lego master, right? Of the three of us, fair to say you're the most proficient in Lego, Jeremy.
I could probably, yes.
Yeah.
I like this. I like when they replicate actual things to the right size. And I mean, you can't make a Grey Cup because that would be monstrous. And where would you put it? But something like this is small and can go on a table.
Sure.
And my opinions of these have shifted over time because my nephews were big into Lego and they would get these sets and you build it once and then what do you do? Like, do you take it apart and build it again, I guess? But they just put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
Well, that's a one-time toy. But now I have a kid and I'm like, I get it. Okay. A convenience store in Virginia has fallen victim to an unusual bandit, Jeremy. This one is a store that's shared these images. A raccoon got in there. Not only did he break a bunch of bottles, he drank a little bit too much and he had a little sleepy poo in the bathroom.
Aw, poor guy.
As happens.
Hope your day's off to a better start than this guy's ended.